My name is Donal Dineen and I come from Rathmore, County Kerry, which is part of an area rich in musical tradition known as Fleadh Lucra, or the Valley of the Rushes. It's the kind of place where people have always had great recourse to storytelling, dance and music. There's water everywhere and lots of moisture in the air, but there's music in it too, and I think I sensed that very early on and immediately identified sound as being the thing I wanted most to follow. And music became both my light and guide, and it both lit up my world and took me away from it too. Once I was on that path, I didn't really look back for quite some time. But the great thing about the musical journey of the open-ended, never-ending variety is that it's liable to change, like the wind. And sometimes it blows you sideways, and sometimes it can blow you backwards too. A turning point for me was hearing a great Kerry piper called Leonard Barry play the uilleann pipes in my home. In a room in which I had been exploring the world of sound from for many years, I had the slate cleaned and my ears refreshed. So pretty soon after falling for the charms of the uilleann pipes, you're going to encounter the world of Willie Clancy. And once you do that, before you know it, you'll be in Miltown Malbay in July. Because it's the music that we want, and we must go to Clare.
Caoimhin, actually, what was the first time you went to Willie Clancy? Can you remember that?
In 1991, my mum suggested to me to borrow a set of pipes from the Pipers Club and head down to the Willie Clancy week. Yeah, I was about 11 I think I was. We went back as a family then the next year and the year after and the year after and every year since. So and they still park at the same place that we put the tent that
your
first
space,
year. So
your parking space.
Kinda, they like. After that, we ended up getting a caravan to go to these festivals, and now they have.
I suppose that's when the money was rolling in.
Oh, telling you, mid-90s. No, I mean it's something that I wouldn't miss, and I haven't. Well, I missed one since '91.
need to lift your right hand a bit. Did anybody ever say that to you? No? Well, here it is. Let's try it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you've been doing this like a little bit. In classical music, they want it up there all the way, but you could do it just, getting it up a little bit, so that because if the hand is down by the side, it's gonna, you see, you won't be able to get the full stroke of the bow because it will start to curve around a little bit, and you'll find it hard. So it's just that one change,
Just sort of like skip between the ages of man here. Now walking into the O'Raghallaigh era. It's the opposite of school feelings where you just want to go outside to go for a slash all the time, but now even if you're going for a slash you want to get back in as fast as you can. And we'll cad gum dull stock. We'll cad gum dull stock, Myles.
After your visit to Moscow back in 2008, I think I had a sort of a breakthrough because I just kind of watched your hand and saw how effortlessly you move it, and with this.
It's not so much a festival as a school, and they're very clear about that, that it's a school first. If it was a festival, the focus would be on getting your headline acts and selling tickets and stuff like that. That's not the focus. The focus is on like teaching, getting great musicians in to teach, but it is teaching. There's lectures, there's recitals, but it's all about learning.
I kind of want you to let go and just go with the experience of it, because it does feel like singing, I mean, just like
the effortlessness is what intrigued me, and I'm curious about what is your process?
I guess what I'm trying to do is not to impose, although of course you don't impose your own desire of what's going to happen on the tune, but in as much as you can, kind of pull back and just allow the thing to evolve in front of your eyes. And every time you play it, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't have a plan of action where you're going to start like this and then it's going to go like that. That's your performance there. More of every time you play it, you're looking for something new, something else to come out of it. So I don't know if that's similar for ye now, because we were curious as to what happens when you guys play.
I don't really think about what I'm playing. I think about like what I'm hearing, and I like to listen like to what Dad's doing. I don't like to think about what I'm doing too much, and I like to listen to what he's doing, and then whatever comes out of me just comes.
Willie played here, didn't he?
He did, yeah. He was this was his local.
Right, so the hallowed ground. So
yeah.
Does it make a difference that your dad's a brilliant player? Does it make a difference in your learning?
I didn't even know he played the pipes until about 9 years ago. And I just walked into the pub down here and I saw him with these things and I didn't even know they are.
that says a lot about him.
Yeah.
Did you watch your dad play and did you learn that way?
Yeah. Watching him and then listening to CDs. That's how I learned.
Every year there's, outside of the classes, you're meeting with musicians who you only meet with there, and there's always a magic moment of music.
For me, seeing that in the this year on the streets after the classes, the kids on the street and seeing the kind of hope in their eyes. It's like, well, you know, that lit up the whole thing in a different way.
At that age, they're all just so switched on, and what they might learn most of is playing a tune with somebody at 4 in the morning,
Yeah.
where it just all clicks and makes sense. You know, sitting for a week watching Bobby Casey's bow hand and listen to Junior Crean talk and play, and Joe Ryan and those kind of guys. All three of those guys are now dead, but just they're beautiful players, beautiful fiddle players, and they basically just sat there and played music individually or together for the whole week.
Do you mind? What's your name? Sorry.
Ryan.
Ryan. Well, Ryan, I'm Donal, and it's great to meet you. How's the Miltown Malbay Willie Clancy week going for you, Ryan?
Very good, yeah.
And are you from Miltown Malbay yourself?
No,
Where are you from?
Tipperary.
Oh, right. Okay, you're from Tipperary. And how many years have you been coming to the Miltown Malbay now?
This is my first time.
Oh, it's your first time.
year,
And
yeah.
what's your first impressions?
Good.
Is it a hard instrument to play, do you think?
Hard enough.
What's hard about it?
Well, try and get into the lower buttons.
Okay, and that's just, at the moment, that's just a long way down there, is it? Or it's
It's easy enough for me, but like
uh-huh.
for starters now it'd be hard.
Okay, sure, you're well into it at this stage. Would you be able to give us a song, or would that be alright? Is there anyone you can think of? Is that too much to ask?
No.
Is that okay, yeah?
I just mind.
Yeah, I know, it'd be great if you could, don't worry.
Okay. Well, alright. Fine. I'll put
Which
that
one are you
there.
going to do? Do you want to put that there? Is it okay there? Okay.
So,
Anything at all now?
nothing that. Come all ye lads and lassies and listen to me a while, and I'll sing for you a verse or two, I'll cause you all to smile. It's all about a brave old man, I'm going to tell you now how we lately came a courting of the middle of the street brown now.
Well, how's the classes going? Are you in the classes too?
Yeah, class works.
And that's really where it all happens, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
And are you both from Milltown?
No, we're from Dungarvan.
Dungarvan. Oh
Yes.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
And so, is it your first time at the Milltown Malbay, or? Is
No.
So you're. And,
Yeah, 3 or 4 years ago we came here.
and so, how old were you when you went to the classes first?
Well, 7, I think.
And the teachers get different every year, do they?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yes.
who have you got this year?
I can't remember the name. I think it's Caoimhin O'Sullivan. I
Okay.
think so. I'm not sure now.
Yeah. In my opinion, the great thing about the Willie Clancy is just that kind of untainted by that, the breakdowns that happen with the commercial. It's a different currency.
Yeah.
It's a highly sort of a voluntary functioning public service.
As you say, the fact that there's no kind of commercial thing, or that there's no ulterior motive or some kind of, there's
Well,
not some body that's kind of got another agenda they're
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to push. It's actually done by people who are doing it for the love of it, for the love of the event, for the love of the man it's named after.
Again, take out the commercial element, but take out the competition element, and what you're left with is, as I say, that kind of thing that's completely precious and rare, which is that kind of look in a child's eye as he plays the concertina that, you know, my tune can change the world.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the world. You know what I mean? So, unfortunately, in 10 years' time, he may be teaching it, but like he'll also be self-conscious about
That's true, Donal.
how he sounds, how he looks.
If they're at their daily labour, kind sir, it's not for me. For I've heard of your behaviour, I have indecency. There is an inn where you call in, I've heard the people say, where you rap and call and pay for all and go home at the break of day. If I rap and call and pay for all, the money is all my own. And I'll never spend your fortune, for I've heard you've got none. You thought you had my poor heart broken, speaking with you now, but I'll leave you where I found you, at the foot of the sweet brown owl.
Hey. Oh, that's amazing, Ryan. That's an amazing song. And where did you learn that one?
Off Deirdre.
Oh, off Deirdre again. Okay. She's a great woman.
Hi, sir. How are you?
Who's
Very
that?
good, very good. Oh, Danny. On the job, Sir Johnson.
Like waiting for execution,
It was very, I bet you never heard the song that was made about a clock.
A clock?
Yeah. Did you ever hear a song made about a clock? And this clock of Mick Sullivan's down in the bog, it gave up keeping time when it started that grog. It got a bad habit of drinking strong wine, and it often struck 8 when it should have struck 9. Rally fall the la. It often struck 9 when it was only 8, and it struck 12 times when it wasn't so late. It often broke out in the middle of the night and kept hammering away till the clear morning light. Rally fall the
That seems to be like the best thing about what happens in Milltown is you can hear all the older people play.
Yeah. I used to always come before I was playing because of a love of listening to music.
Yeah.
And then whenever I'm playing, it's it's still about listening to it more.
Okay, yeah. And like, has we'll say coming to Milltown, has that made you want to play more, or is that increased your love of things?
Definitely,
right?
yeah.
And what do you enjoy most about the week? Is it the classes, or?
Yeah, I would say it'd be probably watching older people play, just seeing how they.
And you get
play.
opportunities to play with them too.
Yeah.
When Mick brought the clock back, he stood it up straight, and he dusted it out, and he settled the hands, and he tightened the screws with the paws of the tongues. Rally fall the da-la-la-la-la-la-la. He next hung it up on a 6-penny nail, and then got a weapon, they call it a flail. When I went to stop him, he told me watch out, and he told me he'd break it without any doubt. Rally fall the da-la-la-la-la-la-la. He went to the door and he shouted aloud, together the neighbours are some kind of crowd. And those that had arms bring weapons and sticks, and those that hadn't could break it with kicks. Rally fall the dal, aralal.
What's beautiful is the way that you could get so close to the masters and play next to the masters, and just be right there,
Yeah. Well, it is a great thing about folk music, I guess, that you do. It's not like rock and roll or some of these others that there's like untouchable kind of distances between someone who's learning and someone who's as good as it gets. Like
I love the rock and roll. I love the music.
Yeah,
the
music. You can't beat the music.
But the rock and roll. But it's more that kind of posturing that is so out of place in these circles.
Well, image is a big part of it, I guess.
Well, would Bono fit into a session?
Is that a rhetorical question?
It is.
Okay,
no,
great.
That's it. Yeah,
Thanks.
Yeah. How many Bonos would it take to fit into one session? I've been amazed by the way that the young people are the stars of this place. It's great, isn't it? That's the way to do it. Like
we had it one year, just up the top of the town here. And it was Sunday lunchtime. There was a family came in for a bit of the session, and they caught 2 little girls with them, twins. I think they were twins, but they were only about six years of age. and the mother and father were talking to some friends at the edge of the pavement. The two little girls stood back against the shop window. They took their violins out and started playing.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
There was a huge crowd around.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, two little things at 6 years of age, and they were playing in such harmony together.
Oh, it's beautiful.
But think what that was a few years ago. How well would we play
now?
now?
I know,
that is the thing.
And she's charming like the lilies in the pond. Time was passing swiftly by, a fair and so fond, and the roses and the daisies were blowing round the pond. When we parted, when she whispered, "You forget me not."
When I come to Innis, I come to Shannon last night, and you
crossed
could
the bridge.
smell, you could smell the country, the
yeah.
beauty of it all. But that's something about the Irish people, the resilience. How they have been years and years, hundreds of years, been persecuted, but they come out on top. Even with this recession, I believe that they'll come out on top again.
I think so too.
As a kid, I would have always had a tape recorder.
That's
Always
funny
recording
now,
stuff.
you should say, was it one of the ones that went like slapped you in the face?
No, I didn't. Or did I? I might have had one of them at the very beginning, but it was one of the little Sony ones, you know, that you.
Oh yeah.
Then I had mini discs. I got a whole load of mini discs that I can't
Mini
listen
discs,
to.
Jesus, Jesus Christ Almighty! Mini discs, Jesus. Even far from mini discs, I was weird, man.
It's funny actually, because some of the tapes from that first year when I was 11, I think I recorded 3 pipers. I'm only going to choose what I really want to record. Not going to waste any tape on anyone else. So I think I recorded Mick O'Brien, Sean Talty, Ronan Brown, and that might be it. Still 3 of my favourite pipers though.
My dad used to also tape, things with a tape, unfortunately. Well, right back when tapes were fucking dangerous, man. You ejected that tape and it slapped you in the nose, no problem. So, first experience of hearing music back would have been listening to those tapes, It's funny because, my dad was a set dancer, managed to die dancing a set.
Brilliant.
But I kind of, just through my own kind of youthfulness or whatever, I was the kind of psychedelic black sheep of a very obedient, good, traditional family, all of whom liked the farm and all of those works, but except me. I was just way too busy filling my ears with other stuff, nothing to do with that. So basically, I never really saw eye to eye with him, and therefore his music was kind of like, just like, oh God, somebody just stop that rubbish. I hate that stuff.
And you still feel like that?
That's why I'm here today. I'm just going to own up to it now.
Great.
But I did first, so it was like that, right? Because I was just after discovering, straight away after discovering Jesus, I discovered Yazoo. So it's like from Yezu to Yazoo. And then years later, I'm in a field of doing a different type of dancing. I'm thinking about music and dancing and my dad or whatever. And I realised, Jesus, I'm just dancing the same as he would be right now, but it was just a different tune, it's a different beat or whatever. And it kind of struck me as being kind of a beautiful moment and turning point, thinking, well, I think, what he danced to is what I also should have as well, and I kind of from there on I just thought, I'm going to really discover what made that particular person tick, so. Milltown, but it seems like it's like Christmas Eve every day of the week in the Willie Clancy week.
Yeah, it's lots
special atmosphere.
It's a good atmosphere. Yeah, the country is full of good young musicians.
Yeah.
Young people learn from the older people. The older people play with the young people and teach them. And there's always a desire among the older generation to pass the music on. Music is something that's for sharing, and it was always shared. And there's a desire among a lot of young people to learn, and if you want to learn, then you've got to be in the company of the older generation and so on.
But just having that access is, I guess, the essence of a folk tradition.
It's the essence of a folk tradition, but I think that's something pretty unique to Ireland. I don't think there's many other traditions,
I would agree, definitely.
Where you actually get that access, where commercialisation has not taken over. You can get literally thousands of people playing it and willing to play it and not having a commercial outlook on it, because I suppose the music for people here is something that's ingrained in the blood. People say it's a passion, but it's something different than passion. It's just it becomes a part of you.
Yeah, it's like a daily need.
It's a daily need,
like water
and it's
or bread or something.
absolutely It's like passion doesn't describe it at all. It's something that gets into the blood, and it's in your blood for your life. You learn from the community that you mix with.
Yeah.
It's not formal learning.
Okay.
But you would realise every 10 years, every 20 years, you're probably mixing with people for 30 years, and you're being moulded in that community. Listeners are important, even for musicians, even for players. The most important aspect in learning music for people who are learning is the ability to listen. That listening becomes the most important skill, because you've got to absorb music, you've got to acquaint with it. It's only when it gets into you that it starts coming out, and it only gets into you from very, very repeated or very consistent listening.
I'm going to baptise Caoimhin now.
You're not a fish! You're not a fish! Peace, man. See you on the other side.
Okay.
On the 22nd of October 2012, Donal Dineen was last seen walking off into the sunset here on Fentry Beach. Nobody knows what became of him, but we're quite sure he's very, very happy.